points from their heats will be combined with their overall points from last night. The top 2 drivers after heat race action from their points total tonight and last night move off to the Pack Building Materials Dash for Cash, where they'll join Jordan Mallett, Derek Hagar, along with Sam Haferteep Jr. and J.J. Hickle. Meanwhile, the next 8 drivers in points from heats tonight and overall points last night will line up in positions 7 through 14 for tonight's main event. Everybody else will be seated into C's and B's with 2 B mains and the top 3 out of each B main, filling out our 20-car field here tonight. The only driver eligible for provisional here tonight, Howard Moore, the 2021 I-30 Speedway track champion, should he need that. As you see the cars making their way out, all of these cars again in heat race 1 of 6, 10 cars, as Charlie Loudon makes his way out, Tony Bruce Jr., and your front row, as we said, Marshall Skinner. He's had one of his best years in a long time. Talked to Marshall, and he said, honestly, I just had more fun this year than I've had in a long time. I quit being so stressed about it, didn't take things so serious, and the results showed on the racetrack. A 6-time winner, and one of his most recent wins coming during the Flip-Flop 50. He won one of those features at Riverside International Speedway, and one of his very best friends, Derek Hagar, won the other one. He told me that was special as well. So we'll see what Skinner can do tonight from the pole, with a Comp Cam Short Track Nationals rookie alongside Jason Long. Gunnar Ramey's number 21 pushing over the turn 4 cushion onto the speedway. Chase Howard following him out to the track in car number 13. The car behind him, car number 21 of Spencer Meredith. Interesting story about that one as he pushes down the front straightaway to the flag stand. That yellow number 21 at the flag stand. Earlier this year, former World of Outlaws Late Model Series champion Mike Marlar has always wanted to drive a sprint car. Mike was hanging out with the team at North Alabama Speedway. They had trouble early in the night. They were going to start on the back of the feature. They asked Mike if he wanted to run the feature. He said, I absolutely do. Mike jumped behind the wheel of that car. I think he passed 6 or 7 cars in the feature, and he was instantly hooked. And pretty cool. Mike Marlar still talking about that. The Meredith family, they've got to know each other very well. And unfortunate accident in the Meredith family a few months ago with a young family member passing away. And Mike and Stacy Marlar decided to put that young one's name on the race car, and they've been running it on that 157 all year. So very cool to see how the sprint car and late model worlds blending together and taking care of each other. Like Sam Haferteep Jr. putting a little heat in the motor. Definitely not in this one. He won the second feature last night in commanding fashion, and he will be in tonight's Pack Building Materials Dash for Cash, as that 15H should exit the speedway down the back straightaway. Just putting a little heat in the motor in that Hill Racing number 15H. Well, as we get ready for tonight, we'll see if the third part of our broadcasting team's got his ears on down there. Scotty Cook watching the racetrack tonight. She was hammered down early last night, but she was good. What have you seen early from this track here tonight from the infield? We'll have Scotty in just a second, getting his mic wired out down there.
Well, Ben, the racetrack looks actually a lot like it did last night. Murmurings last night after the race was over on if this racetrack tonight would end up being as heavy as it was last night. Obviously, we saw some very, very entertaining action last night. We'll wait and see, but it appears as though there's every bit of moisture, every bit as much moisture as there was last night, but it might slick off and be a little more maneuverable tonight. We'll wait and see.
Well, Scotty, we appreciate that update from down there. You'll be talking to the heat race winners, as we'll have 6 of them here tonight. And the field will get lined up behind the pace truck for this 8-lapper. Again, passing point. Tonight they qualified for their heat race lineups. Tonight, though, they drew uphill. And that was something Marshall Skinner said. He said, man, I feel a lot of pressure. I've drawn, and there's only one direction I can go if I don't win it, and that's backwards. And you don't want to sacrifice any points that could put you deep in a B main. Everybody wants to lock in out of a heat race if they can. 64 cars here, 63 cars last night, 59. I believe her return to here tonight, as we'll get them doubled up and get set to get this one underway. So Marshall Skinner on the pole, waiting on the 19 of Jason Long to join him. Long will join alongside of him. Long's first year in a sprint car, but he's been very busy this year in that car. He's competed here at Riverside International Speedway and some other area specials. And it's cool to see some new faces and names coming into the 360 ranks, and really the 305 sprint car division that took roots at Riverside International Speedway over a decade ago now. It took a lot of lumps along the way. It was wingless, then they had different size wings. Then they moved to the standard size wings. It has really pushed a lot of drivers into the 360 ranks. And don't get me wrong, some of the 360 guys have 305s too, but it's a very healthy sprint car scene around here. I'd say in the Memphis Little Rock corridor between the 360s and 305s, there's probably roughly 80 sprint cars between the two divisions you could see on any given night. And it's cool to see the sprint cars still doing well here when in a lot of areas of the country, not so much. Well, lights are down on the speedway. We'll go green off turn 4. All right, getting set to go green off turn number 4, and it's Marshall Skinner, Jason Long, 8 laps the distance, 10 cars, passing points, the name of the game. We're underway. Skinner will take him off into 1 and 2, right through the middle. He sets sail off of 2 down the back straightaway. Long sits in second, Spencer Meredith in third. Racetrack still a little bit greasy right now as these guys tiptoe around the corners. Marshall Skinner out to a commanding lead early in this one. Jason Long holding tough in second, Spencer Meredith in third. Tony Bruce Jr. is trying to work on him. Meanwhile, Perlmutter back there in the 5th spot of car 42P. San Antonio, Texas driver. He'll go to work on Tony Bruce Jr. for position number 4. Bruce has got it in the 12th car. You see him on your screen. Meanwhile, Perlmutter on the right side of the screen. Field getting stretched out around this oval. As out front, it is all Marshall Skinner. 3 down, 3 in the books. 5 laps remain. Jason Long's team working on that engine all day today. They got it fixed right now as he sits in second. And Tony Bruce Jr. continues to hold down 4th. Perlmutter applying the pressure for that. Out front, it is all Marshall Skinner. Skinner with a commanding lead out in front of this one. Jason Long back in second. Spencer Meredith in third. Tony Bruce Jr. in 4th. Perlmutter in 5th. Behind them, it's Gunnar Ramey in the 6th spot. 7th is Loudon. 8th, Bakulik. Laps ticking away 2 more times around the speedway for Marshall Skinner. He's got a straightaway advantage. Meanwhile, Spencer Meredith coming after Long for the 2nd spot off into 1 and 2. Side by side. Spencer Meredith to the inside. Long to the outside. White flag in there for your leader, Marshall Skinner, who's now seen his lead grow to almost a half a track. Long keeps Spencer Meredith behind him. Tony Bruce Jr. back there in the 4th spot. Very heavy racetrack early in the night as the checkered flag waves off turn number 4. And the winner of heat race number 1, Marshall Skinner. Second, as they work through turns 3 and 4, that's going to be Jason Long. 3rd will go to Spencer Meredith. 4th to Tony Bruce Jr. And 5th to Preston Perlmutter. Heat race 1 in the books, and taking the win out of West Memphis, Arkansas. The B&D Towing, Custom Heating and Air, Extreme Race Graphics, Hedger Brothers Ready Mix, J&J number 26 for the lawman Marshall Skinner. He'll head down to get a word with Scotty.
All right, Ben, thank you very much. Heat 1 winner, Marshall Skinner, in dominant fashion. Holy cow, took off from that pole position and never looked back. Right now getting cleared at the scales. Tech with the check of the wing panel, and we'll sneak in here and get a quick word with Marshall Skinner. Helmet's already off. Dude, you must be running nitro. Did you know you won that thing by a half a lap?
No, I was just going because I knew I had to go.
You've got to be so happy with your effort. You came in here last night knowing full well all the talent in the world focused on this place this weekend. Missed the cut just a little bit, but you got it started off really good tonight.
Yeah, we've had a great year. I couldn't ask for a better year. We've won a bunch of races, big races at Riverside, at home. You know, I want to win one here. I ain't got many more years left in me. My boys are going to be filling my shoes. We're racing go-karts. My wife's up behind the stands up there selling shirts, so go buy some where we can afford to go to this big go-kart race we got coming up.
Well, I could say that a million times over. You're blessed so beyond words, and such a big fan base you've got. Good luck the rest of the evening.
Man, I appreciate it, Scotty. Y'all have a good evening.
All right, give him a big round of applause. Coming out from Marion, Arkansas, it's the lawman, Marshall Skinner. Back to you.
Thank you, Scotty. Well, Brian, Marshall Skinner, all grins down there as we get set now for heat race number 2.
Indeed, heat races with the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series brought to you by SCE Gaskets, delivering horsepower. That is SCE Gaskets. Driver on the pole in heat race number 2 is Chance McCrary out of Farmersville, Texas. The bow time, Kramer Company, Kaiser Wheels, Scott Baylor Power, Maxim Chassis number 13M. Lining up to his right, it's going to be Ronnie Howard out of Nesbitt, Mississippi. The Molly Piston, Howard Bill Mach 1 Chassis, DHR Suspension, Spencer Lee's Transmission number 44H. Next row from the inside, the driver they call the Monster. It's Miles Paulus out of Marshall, Missouri. The Ozark Barge and Dock Services, Westmar Maxim Jake's Paint Shop, Sure-Built Suspension number 98P. And outside of him, it'll be the driver to Cactus Flats, Missouri, the Helt Turf Farm. Randy Davidson Trucking, Regency Homes, Helt's Topsoil, Moss Maxon number 22S, that is Slater Helt. Next row from the inside in 44, out of Ankeny, Iowa, the C&D Elevator Construction, MGS Concrete Pumping, Moyle Powered Maxim, Global Ag number 44M, that will be Chris Martin. And outside of him, the 27W is Austin Wood out of Germantown, Tennessee. The Gravely, Weld Wheels, Butler Built Seating Systems. Red Max Kawasaki J&J Chassis number 27W. Next row from the inside, you'll find Jeffrey West Jr. He's out of Atoka, Tennessee. The Rick's Powder Coating. Haley Electric Kaiser Wheels J&J Chassis number 24. And to his right, it'll be Brandon Hinkle out of Cabot, Arkansas. The Riverside Medical, Brian Automotive, Wolf Maxon number 21B. And your final starter here in SCE Gaskets heat race number 2 is out of Atoka, Tennessee. The Jeff's Heating and Cooling DHR Suspension J&J Chassis number 10L. That is Landon Britt. As that'll be your lineup in heat race number 2 of 6 tonight for the Lucas Oil American Sprint Car Series, presented by the Bat TV Motorsports Network, running in conjunction with your ASCS Mid-South region. Drivers getting lined up behind the Everett Chevrolet Pace truck. Caution lines will go dark, field set to go to green. Chalk line at the exit of turn number 4. In the 13 in Chance McCrary, the 44H of Ronnie Howard in run number 1, Miles Paulus, Slater Helt in run number 2, Chris Martin, Austin Wood in run number 3, Jeffrey West Jr., Brandon Hinkle in run number 4, Landon Britt in row 5. We go to green. Off and running your field into turns 1 and 2. Couple of drivers up on the right side tires a little bit. They bring it back down. A little bit of bumper tag to the back straightaway as up front. Scooby-Doo looking to solve the mystery in this one as he'll lead on lap number 1. The 22S of Slater Helt going to run in second right now. Miles Paulus running in third. The 13 of Chance McCrary, your pole sitter, getting shuffled back to the 4th spot. The 44 of Chris Martin, the C&D Elevator Construction entry, going to dive to the inside of the 13. Not able to get the run through 3 and 4. They'll bring it around to the front stretch. Martin again attacks to the bottom, goes for the slide. Up into the fluff, it holds, and he's going to bolt up into the 4th position. Chris Martin up in the 4th now. McCrary back to 5th. Challenge at the front of the field for a moment. Slater Helt in the 22, setting sights on the 44. Howard with the advantage. Pair of Missouri drivers chasing in 2nd and 3rd. The 22 of Helt. Peaks are down to the inside through turns 1 and 2. No dice to the back straightaway. Miles Paulus was there, now losing a couple of car lengths. He'll regain them on the entry of turn 3. Side by side for the top spot. Here comes Helt in 22. Slater Helt misses it at the line by 400 of a second. Ronnie Howard going to get the elbows up and out to try to keep the car as wide as possible now, adjust his line down to the bottom. He's going to leave the high side open. Here comes Helt on the outside to the race lead. Slater Helt goes to the top and goes to the lead. A ton of smoke now coming out of the back of the 44. Problems. Scooby-Doo is up in smoke into turns 3 and 4. Howard, though, stays in the throttle as he's going to go ahead and burn her down to the front straightaway, pacing down to the bottom of turns 1 and 2. As he'll take care of the mosquito problem here at the I-30 Speedway, but off of turn number 4, the checkered flag is going to greet the driver, the number 22, Slater Helt with the win. Miles Paul is going to cross in 2nd, 3rd, going to go to Chris Martin, 4th, going to go to Chance McCrary, 5th will go to Jeffrey West Jr., Austin Wood, Brandon Hinkle, Landon Britt, and Ronnie Howard, unfortunately, Looks like an expired engine beneath the bonnet of the number 44. He'll be relegated with the final position. But your winner, ladies and gentlemen, the driver coming to you from right up the road in Cactus Flats, Missouri, the Helt's Turf Farm. Heath Grimes, Randy Davidson Trucking, Moss Power, and Maxim. Reese Nichols Real Estate, Helt's Topsoil number 22S. Race fans, give him a hand. Slater Helt, your winner in heat race number 2. As he'll make his way to the back straightaway, he will head down to the scales, and we'll go down to Scotty Cook.
Hey, thank you very much, Brian. Very good to see this young man pick up a big heat win as he is making his way to the scales via the back door. I'm going to send it back to you momentarily, maybe sneak that lineup in, and we'll catch a word with him. Actually, guys, we'll just stay with him as he goes through tech and scales. A great job, young man. I know it's been an emotional up and down season, but you got your championship night here in Little Rock kicked off just great.
Yeah, pretty good night so far. I'm glad we could go 4th to 1st in that deal. Good racing up front there with everybody. Good, clean racing. That was fun. So,
hey, great job. Best of luck to you. That's the 22 Slater Helt out of Cactus Flats, Missouri in the Helt 22. Back to you, guys.
Thank you very much, Scotty, as we get set now for heat race number 3 of 6, and starting on the pole in car number 21K, that's going to be Kevin Hinkle out of Cabot, Arkansas, the Riverside Medical Supply, number 21K. Starting alongside of him, it will be car number 0C, the Coca-Cola Zero, Maxim race car for the Crawdaddy, Tim Crawley out of Benton, Arkansas, 1998 ComCam Short Track Nationals champion. Starting inside of row number 2 in car number 95 out of Glenpool, Oklahoma, 4-time winner this year with American Sprint Car Series, including right here at I-30 Speedway. It'll be Matt Covington, the Lucas Oil Products, A-Rock Materials, Shark-powered XXX chassis. Starting to his outside in car number 52, 2018-2019 ComCam Short Track Nationals champion, the DriveWFX.com Smiley sponsor JR1 with a rider power plant. It's Blake Hahn going after his first career Lucas Oil ASCS National Championship here tonight. He's got a 52-point advantage entering tonight's finale. Starting inside of row number 3 in car number 91X out of Farmersville, Texas, the Boyd Racing Engine Maxim. Out of Nesbitt, Mississippi, the Cumberland Motorsports powered XXX entry for Greg Merritt. Moving back to row number 4 in car number 92, it's Cody Hayes. Cody out of Wynn, Arkansas, in the Henderson Recovery, DHR suspension, Dynotech powered J&J chassis. 11 starts this year for that driver across 360s, 305s, and midgets. To his outside, it'll be a ComCam Short Track Nationals rookie out of St. Joseph, Missouri, the Porter Steel Buildings, TNS Industries, Larry Russell Tax Service, number 2C for Chase Porter, another one of those micro sprint graduates. And on the back row, all by his lonesome, was very fast last night. We'll see what we can do in his heat race here tonight. Out of Houghton, Louisiana, it's Dustin Gates. Dustin, one win on the year that came in ASCS regional action at Jackson Motor Speedway. He'll be aboard the American Elevator Technologies Day Motorsports Kennedy-powered Mach 1 for Dustin Gates. As the field gets set to push off, heat race 3 of 6 here tonight at I-30 Speedway in the 34th annual ComCam Short Track Nationals presented by Hoosier Tires. As we said, the final race of the year for the facility, but in the off-season, point your browsers to i-30speedway.com for the latest information on the 2022 campaign and all the great stuff. You can also go to ascsracing.com. As Brian Hulbert's always putting great articles and updates up over there. You can check the points for all the regions, as well as their schedules for next year. And Brian, it's truly a 12-month sport now, man. We never are done. Even when we're finishing up, we're still getting a start on the next year.
You know, right now, our focus turning to the indoor events, the Lucas Oil Tulsa Shootout happening over the New Year weekend. Over 1,100 entries in micro competition expected this year. Almost 800 already entered. That's going to be December 29th through January 1st. And then, of course, the Lucas Oil Chili Bowl Nationals presented by General Tire, the world's largest indoor midget race, happening January 10th to the 15th. For more information on these events, you can find it online at TulsaShootout.com and ChiliBowl.com. For fans wanting to attend the Tulsa Shootout, all seating is general admission. You buy the ticket at the event. For the Chili Bowl Nationals, Monday and Tuesday reserve seat tickets are on sale by calling 918-838-3777. The general admission pit pass sold at the event and never sells out. That does give you access to First come, first serve seating along the back straightaway. Again, for more information on both those events, TulsaShootout.com and ChiliBowl.com. And, of course, a little bit of a change in the Chili Bowl. Talked about it yesterday, and the VacuWorks Invitational Race of Champions, the VIROC, moved to Monday night. So Larson, Bell, Briscoe, Abreu, they'll all be in the Race of Champions, and you can catch them Monday night at Chili Bowl Nationals.
Must-see event, and that's always a fun race, and glad to see with the schedule change, all those guys will be able to be there. They don't have schedule conflicts. Well, right now, getting set to go green, it's Hinkle and Crawley, your front row. A couple of Little Rock area drivers bring us to the green flag. Oh, that may, yeah, I was going to say that's not going to work. And they're going to head down into 1 and 2. They're going to blink the yellow light at them. We're going to try it again. I lied. We'll blink it on the back straightaway. Yellow is back out. And Kevin Hinkle and Tim Crawley, your front row. And Crawley getting the gas a little bit soon, and Hinkle holding back a little bit. We're going to give him another shot here as Kevin Hinkle, the 21K on the pole, and Tim Crawley in that Coca-Cola Zero C alongside. All right, so we want to see him even and straight this time out of turn 4. Hopefully the second time is the charm. Heat race 3 of 6. Hinkle in the Braun Automotive Services XXX race car. Tim Crawley in the Coca-Cola Zero Maxim race car. Race car from back in his days with Mike Ward that they brought out. They tweaked her up a little bit, got her ready to rock. Power steering's fixed here tonight. We'll see what Crawley can do. He's got Hinkle alongside. Green flag's out. We're underway. Drag race off into 1 and 2. Hinkle down low. Crawley to his outside. Tim Crawley shoots to the lead. Hinkle in second. Hahn goes to work on Hinkle for position number 2. Off into 3 and 4. Slider from Hahn up in front of Hinkle. Hinkle turns back down the hill. Lap number 1 to Crawley. Hinkle holds on to second. Blake Hahn goes to work on him. Hinkle to the cushion down in 1 and 2. Side by side for second. Blake Hahn up to second. Hinkle back to position number 3. Matt Covington rides in the 4th spot. In the 5th position right now, it's Michael Day in car number 91. Working lap number 3 of this 8-lap affair, and out front it's Tim Crawley. That Zero C. Heading off into turns 1 and 2. Blake Hahn pedaling as fast as he can, trying to get there. Everybody wants to lock into the main event from heat race action here tonight. Again, the top 10 and combined points from last night and tonight's heat races will lock into the feature. Everybody else is going to have to do it out of a B main. Past the halfway mark, they come around and complete lap number 5. 5 on the board, 3 to go. Covington goes around Hinkle. Hinkle back to 4th. Matt Covington up to 3rd. 5th continues to be the 91 car of Michael Day. Laps ticking away in this one. Crawley leads the way, 2 to go. Hahn's closing in on him. Hahn took a 10th off of Crawley's lead that time by, still 5 tenths behind him as they dance off the cushion down the back straightaway off into turns 3 and 4. And they're going to see the white flag as they exit turn number 4 one more time around the Speedway in heat race number 3 here tonight in Hammer Hill. Crawley keeps it clean on the 2, rocking down the back straightaway off into turns 3 and 4. The winner of heat race number 3 out of Benton, Arkansas, Tim Crawley in car 0. Second goes to Blake Hahn. Third will go to Matt Covington. Kevin Hinkle in 4th. 5th to Michael Day. That's going to be Porter, Gates, Merritt, and Hayes. Picking up the win by 4 tenths of a second out of Benton, Arkansas. The Crawdaddy Tim Crawley wins heat race number 3. The Ronnie Pitts Motorsports Coca-Cola Zero, MPV Express Incorporated, East End Towing, Catskin Automotive Leather, Car Zero C, the 1998 Comp Camp Short Track Nationals champion, 3-time winner on the year, and he's going to head down to get a word with Scotty.
Thank you very much, Ben. Tim Crawley, the Crawdaddy, with his 2nd heat race win in as many nights, looked as dominant there as he did last night, and we'll sneak in and have a little word with him. And man, first thing come to my mind during that first start is don't these youngsters know not to try to teach old dogs new tricks?
There wasn't a youngster beside me is the only problem. Nah, man, we're pretty good. You know, I really hate that we had our misfortune last night, you know, with the steering going out. But, you know, I don't know. I've had so many gremlins at Short Track Nationals so many times. But I got my elbows up. I'm going to give it everything this almost 52-year-old's got.
I think tonight makes yet another Short Track Nationals. You've made 32 of the 34. I know you're quite proud of that accomplishment.
All you're saying is I'm old.
Well, yeah. We're all in the same boat, buddy. Hey, great job. Despite the steering going bad last night, we know at the very least after 2 dominant heat wins and competing for a win last night, you got a really good piece to compete tonight.
Oh, yeah, Ronnie Pitts, you know, my crew, all our guys. We got to thank Coca-Cola, Michael Vogelpohl, all our sponsors. You know, we can't do it without them. So, but yeah, I'm really fortunate. I got all this really late in life. I've really been blessed. I got 10.5 years in with Mike Ward, and that was just unbelievable. And now I got another awesome car owner, Ronnie Pitts.
He's got quite a legacy, and he's got 1 million fans here at the I-30 Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a big round of applause. The Crow Daddy, Tim Crawley. I want to send out a very special hello to Mr. Dallas Wright, watching live on the south side of Little Rock tonight. He just learned recently that 40 years old is